Hello, everyone. My name is Jamila Blue with Conscious Michiana, and today I have Seva Van Wy with her Ayurvedic program that she's going to be talking about. How are you doing, Seva?
I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for this opportunity to have a conversation with you about all these amazing things that you're doing and that I'm trying to do.
You are doing the things for sure. It's pretty impressive, all of the things that you have going on, which I cannot wait to talk about. And to learn more about you and about Ayurvedic, why it's important, a little bit about your story and how you found this and why it's meaningful for you. So I'm just really excited. And I do have some questions that we're going to ask, but one of the things is that I wanted to just find out about. I understand that you're fairly new in the community. Would you like to just kind of talk a little bit about how you found your way here and, how you landed here before we go into the other things?
Yes, I moved from Utah to Michigan 2 years ago, and we just came out to help our family, my husband's family, and I was looking for ways to plug into the community up there in Kalamazoo, but somehow I found a Conscious Michiana vendor invitation, or maybe I just saw the festival and I applied to Bend because my family was in South Bend, even though we were in Kalamazoo. Um, so I thought, maybe I should just go and participate in that event and see what the South Bend community is all about. And it's pretty close to Kalamazoo, so it's nice to have like a big network, right? So I just loved also the the name of the organization, Conscious Michiana. I love how Michigan and Indiana are just kind of like merged here in this little nook of the state. And um, so the fact that it's called Michiana is really cute. And then the whole conscious word is also, just something I'm always drawn to. So I just was like, yeah, let me go check out these folks in this town and see, how I can help support it.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that so much. And I know we've talked over the years and, had some exchanges while you're in
Mhm.
Kalamazoo and it wasn't until after you got here and you started posting up some of your events that I got to see the breadth of what you have to offer. And I was like, oh, I need to get to know this person. And we had our first introduction at the like face to face at the Play, Create, Heal event that we had back in March. And I just really appreciated the professionalism that you brought. And I could see how passionate that you are about what you do. And I just knew that I needed to get to know you better. So thank you for
Yeah,
coming
it's been
our way.
yeah, it's been very organic. I didn't know at the time when I came that year. It wasn't this summer, but last summer, wasn't it? June? Or was it the year before?
It was last summer that you
It was
came
last
and were
summer.
looking for locations and places to offer some of the things that you were doing.
Yeah, so it must have been no, it was in June that you had the event, and I didn't know then that I would be living here now. It kind of happened that fast. So yeah, so now here I am, and it made me glad that I had come and just planted some seeds, and so now we can actually um start having my little corner of the community garden blooming in the community conscious garden. Um, because yeah, Ayurveda is really special, and it's not something that many communities have a lot of. And I have found that in a lot of places I've gone is that Ayurveda just has a very little to none presence. And so as an Ayurvedic practitioner, we know this, we know that Ayurveda is um, kind of it's gaining momentum, in this country as a healthcare system. So part of becoming a practitioner is learning how to educate the community about what it even is.
Hmm.
What is this Ayurveda, system? And, people think people just don't really know what it is. They might have heard of it. It's a sister science to yoga. So of course it's kind of a buzzword and they're like, oh, I've heard of it. My teacher told me about it or this and, just small little tiny bits, but they don't really understand really truly what it is and how it can support them.
Hmm.
So I'm really excited to share those amazing, the amazing wisdom of it because, when people have just heard of something, it's just something that's on their radar. But then when they really learn about it and understand what it is, then it becomes something that might actually be inspiring and encouraging and give somebody hope, another avenue to try and reach their health goals with, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah.
I love that. And I can't wait to hear more about that before we end. Before we go deeper into those things, I would love to hear your story. How did you find Ayurvedic how did you find this for yourself? Like, did you have a big aha moment? How did that happen for you?
I think it was very organic. With most things in my life, I've never really had a big aha moment. It's just something that I crossed paths with. I grew up in Utah, but I moved to San Diego when I was about 21. And I just, literally drove straight on the freeway till I got to the beach. And I walked into this little newly opened juice bar that was just right up the street from the beach. And, it was all pretty with the rainbow colors and pretty little things hanging in the window. And I was just like, oh, walked in and I don't know, just in 20 minutes, I had a job and a place to live. I was I was in this little juice bar community house and worked there and met many people. And one of the friends that I had made, she was working at the Deepak Chopra Center for Wellbeing just up the beach. And she's like, you should come here and work with me here. You would love it.
Mm,
And I didn't know what I would love. And, you know, she just knew me somehow. Like, of course, I was drawn to Eastern philosophies and things, but I wasn't really sure how to explore it, you
hmm.
know?
Yeah.
And this is mid 90s. This is mid 90s, so quite a long time ago. So I'm like, okay. So I go over and yeah, I get a job there and I was just really drawn to the wellness center part of it and the therapist side of it and what they were doing and like these really unique treatments that I had never heard of or never seen before, the way they gave really healing treatments to their guests. So Deepak was around a lot in those days and he was giving a lot of satsangs, right? So he was community would gather, it was just a public event, it was free. We would all just sit around and listen to him talk about the Vedic sciences and Ayurveda because it's an Ayurvedic center, right? And a lot of things like meditation and music and mantra and it was always, something really enriching and fulfilling. Like everything he said just really resonated. And then I started to see like what was really going on there. This system of Ayurveda and people like Jewel and Madonna were coming there, and getting their transformational, personal retreats there. And I was like, what is going on with this? Because, and there's this beautiful meditation room with all the deities, the Ganeshas and all the pillows and all. So everything's just so aesthetically beautiful. And then everything he said just like really tickled my ears. And I get little goosebumps. And, like when you have that kind of body response, it's just like, this is what I want this in my life. Whatever this is, I want it. And I want it to be my everything because Ayurvedic it's really a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Like if you're going to choose to be a vegetarian or a vegan or a Christian or a Buddhist or a yogi, those are lifestyles that you're following, as well as, it's a spiritual path, but it's also a lifestyle path. It's how you live your life. It's how you principles you choose to live by that you resonate with to show up in the world. So I choose Ayurveda, and that's where it all started. And so I'm like, okay, I want to work with a therapist. I'm working with them. I was preparing all the oils for the treatments. They gave me a whole protocol, and I would just make sure everything was set up and prepared. And then I got to be a body while they were giving trainings for the treatments, because in those days there wasn't a school to learn the treatments specifically. They wanted you to get a massage license, come back, and then they would train you to do the treatments. And that's basically how it still is 25, 30 years later.
Mm.
So that's a big part of my business is teaching these treatments in this modality. But that's where it all started, was there, and they were giving me the treatments, and I was like, yes, this is so what I want. And that's just where it all started, at the Chopra Center, 25, 30 years ago.
That is so
Um,
exciting. I love
yeah.
just how the flow of the universe just kind of bada boom, bada bang, here you go. Here's the thing, here's the next step. And to take you to such an elite facility program with Deepak, wow, how incredible to be able
Yeah.
to be a part of that. When I was very, very young, my mother had friends who were from India, and I was exposed to that culture at a young age. And she was also a yogi prior to me being born. And so I kind of came in with some of that awareness around it. However, it may have been maybe 20 years ago or so that I began looking at Ayurvedic. And for some time, I was able to at least understand my dosha and to be able to eat according to that. And it's such a large science that I found myself getting lost in so many things. I've got a very large bookshelf filled with
Mhm.
Ayurvedic books because it's just so holistic, as you had mentioned, between the sounds and the colors and the shapes and the mantras and yantras and body systems and how all of these come together. It's just so big. I found myself getting lost in it. And so, I had other focuses at that time, which is why I didn't stay focused on that. However, it was something that I found that I really appreciated, and just haven't had the space to be able to go into it more deliberately, which is also why I'm really excited to have you here in the community to be able to offer some of the resources that you have and to be able to have somebody to talk to about these things. I was getting lost on your website as before we started because you've got so much content and so many different parts of this Ayurvedic field, science. I'm not quite sure the best way. Is it science? Is that the way I should call it?
Yeah.
Um, Lifestyle,
Yeah.
as you had said. So it's just so big and vast. And I was like, oh, look, I can see recipes. I can see, like there's so many different things that I can see. You've got a free downloadable video that you offer. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So just by the word Ayurveda is science of life.
Ah,
So when you're saying, as a science, yeah, that's exactly what Veda means. It means science, or knowledge, right? And then IU, the AYU, that means life.
mm,
So the whole word's a Sanskrit word, means the science of life, the science of life, how to live optimally. It's a preventative health medical system. And in India, there are Ayurvedic hospitals. Like this is a valid holistic medical system. And it does parallel the Western medical model pretty closely, but instead of prescribing prescription pills and, medications that have 100 side effects, and then more, the whole prescription thing is more like body treatment and diet, right? Food is medicine. And the Ayurveda proverb says, when diet is correct, medicine is of no need. But
Mm,
when diet is wrong, medicine is of no use.
mm-hmm,
So that's saying that food is your medicine. Without proper nutrition, your body's just going to become imbalanced physiologically, and that's when disease starts to accumulate, you know?
mm-hmm,
So the whole wisdom of Ayurveda is to prevent it before it happens. Western medicine is really good for the after, when you've already accumulated and become imbalanced or diseased. Then Western, not that Ayurveda can't be a cure,
mm-hmm,
but it works best as prevention. It's more wise to have a preventative mentality than go, oh, I'll just try to fix it. I'll just try, I'll just keep ignoring
mm-hmm,
that these things that I'm doing and choosing are bad for me and don't make me feel very good, but I'm getting away with it somehow. But then eventually there's going to be a point where a disease or some pretty uncomfortable symptoms, right, dis-ease,
mm-hmm.
will start to manifest and express themselves physically. And then you're like, okay, maybe I should do something about it now.
Uh-huh.
And that's where, Western medicine is really good at, I guess, is just kind of putting a band-aid on something or giving you a pill to help make a symptom go away, but you're not really treating it at the root. You're not really taking care of it from where it started, and uprooting it and making sure, that it's totally eradicated from, and that you can kind of renew and reset. So that's the foundation of Ayurvedic medicine, right?
Mm-hmm,
When you practice Ayurveda and you want to be an Ayurvedic practitioner, just like you would want to be a naturopath or a medicine practitioner or a nutrition coach or a health coach, it is in that it you can get really clinical with it, but the prescriptions, again, they're going to body work, to hit the nervous system, to target the lymphatics, make sure, that your systems and channels are moving and grooving. And then other prescriptions are going to be meditation, yoga, mantra, yantra, a lot of self-care. So as an Ayurvedic practitioner, I'm not just trying to fix you, I'm trying to empower you to be able to fix yourself.
mm,
Because
beautiful.
Ayurveda is a medical system, but it's originating from nature.
Mm-hmm,
And we're all part of nature. We're all part of the same stuff, the elements that are in nature, right? Fire, water, earth, air, and space. So we're all made of the same stuff. We're all made, nature and us are made alike. And so we have a, a we have more health optimization when we align with the principles of nature
Makes perfect sense.
by by understanding your constitution,
Uh-huh.
right? Because we're
Yeah.
all unique, like thumbprints and snowflakes, right? We're all unique. So when you really understand your unique constitution, that's yours and yours alone, then you understand what you need and when you need it. And then you'll be equipped with how to stay in balance for you using diet and lifestyle,
Mm.
and how to stay in alignment with nature and the changing of the seasons and even the routine throughout the whole day, circadian rhythm, those things, right?
Like a
So
blueprint
for an
for life.
Ayurvedic,
Like a
huh?
blueprint. It's almost like following a blueprint.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yes.
hearing you say. I love that.
Yeah. And so, understanding that aspect of Ayurveda, that also made me really inspired. towards it. It also made me really resonate with it because one, it's a valid medical system that you can go to a hospital for. And two, it also empowers the individual so that hopefully you don't even have to go to a hospital,
Hmm.
and I'm like, that's the best of
That
both.
is the best
It
for
is the
sure.
best. Yeah.
Hmm.
So as a practitioner, I'm not just trying to make people dependent on me. I want
Hmm.
people to learn how to understand their own constitution so well and understand Ayurvedic principles so well that they can learn how to take care of themselves and really be empowered to take like the reins of their own healing journey. And then I can just facilitate and guide and get and be a resource
Mm.
for that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So how would you like to, so just out of curiosity, do you want to talk about what you have on your website right now, or how would you like to shift?
Yeah. So you asked about the free class. Um, if you are going to the consultation page, you'll get a free download for at like a daily checklist of ways that you can incorporate Ayurvedic healing rituals or self-care rituals into your day. So there's like a checklist there. For the free class that you mentioned, so knowing that back in the day there was nowhere to someone could go to actually learn deeply, the the science of the Ayurvedic treatments. Like people will go to a 500 or 600-hour school to learn massage therapy, right? And they go through anatomy and physiology. They go through like all the techniques. They learn how to assess somebody. It's a very detailed clinical curriculum. So there wasn't anywhere you could do that just to learn the Ayurvedics, and get the good foundation of Ayurvedic under theory, right? And then applying that to how you learn the body and give Ayurvedic treatments. So fast forward 25 years, there still isn't a school that you can do that. There is schools, Ayurvedic schools, hundreds and hundreds of them, and they're pumping out all these practitioners. And part of how you're trained as a practitioner is to give your client a health program. Part of the health program is the prescription of bodywork treatments, but they don't have anywhere to send their clients to. There's nobody trained in their area to give Ayurvedic treatments to send their clients to. So there's this problem in the world, in the Ayurveda community, in the world too, I guess, because there's not enough of therapists. There's not enough of us trained in this modality so that not just not just Ayurvedic practitioners have someone to refer people to. Say you are familiar with Ayurvedic treatments and you know the benefits of them, you know grounding they are to your nervous system, you know cleansing they are to your body because of the lymphatic work. People will be traveling and they'll say, "Oh, I just need a Shirodara," and then they're like, "I'm so glad I found you in this area." So there's people who will be looking for you. People are looking for it and just can't find it. People will travel all the way from Traverse City, 4 or 5 hours away, just to come get a Shirodara because there's not one, but there should be
And a Sharodara is
a
body work,
therapist in Traverse City. Yeah,
therapist doing body work
a
through
Shirodara
something
is body
specific.
work. It's a very grounding, specific for the nervous system, the hormones, balancing the whole body, rejuvenation, reset button on the nervous system.
So what I'm
And it's a
hearing is a
warm oil
I didn't mean
that
to
gets
interrupt.
poured on the third eye.
Got it.
Yeah,
So what I'm
and
hearing
that's
is a
how that
great opportunity this is a great opportunity for people who do massage therapists. There seems to be a lot of massage therapists in the community. Great opportunity for massage therapists to be able to learn this technique. So Ayurvedic practitioners such as yourself can send them to receive the Sharadara practice, which how often should that be done out of curiosity? Like, is there, like once a month, once a quarter, once a
Yeah,
year, like you're one and done?
the practitioner will actually recommend a duration, you know, but in general, it's very safe. So it's not like it has to be recommended by a practitioner. Anybody can book it online with me and come in and see me for it. It's just something, it's really good for PTSD. It's really good for jet lag. It's a total reset to the nervous system. So it helps to balance hormones. The benefits are spiritual, energetic, and physical. And I could just roll out a scroll of the benefits of it because there's so many and they go really deep. And it's truly transformational.
Mm,
And it's just hard to describe because the warm oil pours on the third eye, which is a chakra. It's also a marma energy point. So when this point gets stimulated, this is a very spiritual point here. And so there's a whole lot that will go on, such as, helping the brain get into a theta state. And that theta state is what you get into if you're really dropped into a meditation. So it's like a psychic sleep, and it's sort of like yoga nidra. So you're a little bit awake, but then once you get into that theta state, you're just kind of going in and out. And it's that in and out place of being in a theta state that communicates to your nervous system to just reset,
mm. Sounds
relax.
very lovely.
Yeah,
Mm,
it is. It is very lovely. So the free class is a free 1 hour class where I give you a basic overview understanding of what it means to be an Ayurvedic bodywork technician and Marma therapist.
mm,
Because I have a course for each.
mm,
So it goes over the Ayurvedic anatomy, energetic anatomy, and then into a lot of energetics of oils, aromatherapy, and then how to use that in your treatment. I why the treatments are Ayurvedic, what we're doing when we're applying Ayurvedic principles, how we rate the body's energy and the physical channels. And it goes very, very deep, and it's just good stuff. It's really good stuff. If you're somebody that really enjoys that type of work, where you're facilitating tactile treatments on somebody, where you're, of this transmission of touch and energy when you're working with people, then this modality is in super high demand. And there's just not enough of us,
mm,
and I set up a business and I give consultations and I do the treatments and I'm doing it all. And I can't ever like hire somebody because, they need all this training. And that's still how it's going today. There's a lot of Ayurvedic wellness centers that will train massage therapists, but then the massage therapist doesn't really have an Ayurvedic background. So they don't really understand what they're doing and doing it. And it's
mhm,
just a protocol. It's just a job,
mhm,
but they're really missing out on the beauty of what's really going on,
mhm,
what they really could be doing.
mm,
And then with Ayurvedic practitioners, they don't have a massage license. So so then they end up hiring the massage therapist, training them, but it takes all their time and they don't really have an Ayurvedic background. And then there's this turnover. And so there's this whole problem out there because there's not enough massage therapists that really have that Ayurvedic background. So that's why I created these courses. It's as a licensed massage therapist for the massage therapy community in a mission to grow the modality globally. And there's momentum out there. I'm not the only one, but I am one of very few that are turning this into something that's actually a school where you can specialize in the trainings, specialized in as a aromatherapist or an Ayurvedic bodywork technician that people can refer their clients to you for.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, that's the thing is like a lot of Ayurvedic schools, they will orient you to what Ayurvedic treatments are so that you can refer your clients to them, but they don't teach you how to do them,
mhm,
but that's all that there really is out there. And then there's people who offer these 1 week workshops. Oh, you can learn the Ayurvedic massage. And that's great. That's wonderful. But you're just learning how to do a technique. You're not getting the why. You're not getting
mhm,
the deep wisdom and knowledge of really how to deliver that treatment holistically so that you are bringing total rejuvenation to their spirit, to their energy, as well as to their physical body.
mm. Well, I
You're,
love that you're in
yeah,
the community offering this and been able to bring this, and I just can't wait to see how this grows with the momentum that it has and how this will move forward. It sounds like it'll be so helpful for the community at large to just simply have more of awareness of Ayurvedic, as well as being able to have a resource to be able to fine tune and to be able to move into this more deliberately.
yeah, yeah. So
So,
there's lots of ways that I can someone Ayurvedically, whether you just need some treatments, some bodywork treatments, you can look at my service menus. Anything you resonate with, you're always welcome to reach out to me on a free call where we can talk about what might work best for you or what I would recommend for you. And then there's courses. Obviously, the courses are hybrid. So you would take, maybe you just want to do the foundations of Ayurveda just to learn about the system of Ayurveda and how it can work for you. And by the way, it works for everyone because, as I said, it is a nature-based holistic medical system. So it's not like there would be something there that wouldn't work for anyone because it's so personal and customized that it meets you where you're at. And
mhm,
there's always a remedy for you within Ayurveda. There's always an approach you can take with Ayurveda. It's very versatile and it's very adaptable, even though it is a 5,000-year-old ancient science.
mhm,
And that's the beauty of it is it originated with our species, and it's been a guide for us to maintain our bodies, our vehicles while we are earthside. And that's why it's is for everyone. Ayurveda can be for everyone because we can figure out how to custom for you.
mm,
So then there's the aromatherapy training, which is hybrid, and the Ayurvedic bodywork training. They're both 40 hours online. And then I do a 4-day live training for those who have finished that level 1.
ah,
And I do that right now. I'm able to offer those trainings at Sacred Waters. So Sacred Waters is a beautiful presence in the South Bend community where, it's a beautiful retreat center where you can stay on site, and they have a yoga studio and a kitchen and everything. So the students stay on site and we can use the entire space for the training for the 4 days, which is really, really lovely.
mhm,
So that's why, with the hybrid, it's really accessible and available for people to access, and actually get through it pretty quickly. And it is actually a community too online that you would be involved with. And I want you to feel like you have a teacher. I don't want anyone to just buy the course and then they're gone. And hopefully one day they actually become a therapist. No, I'm actually on a mission to grow this modality. And I want my students to feel like they have a teacher and a guide and we can go through things together. And then once a year, I take students to India or Bali and we experience the treatments of our the motherland, in the birthplace of,
mm,
of India. So that kind of is the progression of that. But you could also, just book some treatments or some consultations. And I do Ayurvedic workshops and Marma yoga classes at Sacred Waters, also at the Realm in Elkhart. I've presented there, and I teach at the Michiana School of Massage also.
Lovely.
So you could look for CE offerings that I might be having at the school because I can offer continuing education to licensed massage therapists
Mm.
with these modalities. So that's pretty exciting.
All of those things are so exciting. They're so exciting. So, in regard to, I mean, you've spoke about so many different things at a very high level. So right now, I guess it's just about community. Come and find Seva. Look at her website, see the listings and the offerings that she has. Um, do you have any events coming up that you'd like to highlight?
Yes. So in at Sacred Waters in August and October, well, in August, I'm going to do a Ayurveda workshop. So it's just a little workshop introducing you to Ayurveda. It's a sister science to yoga. So we'll be we'll be learning about some of the Marma energy points and how to work with them in your yoga practice. Um, and then in I'm sorry, September, I'm going to be doing an Ayurvedic seasonal cleanse. So anybody can join this. It's it's fun for like yoga teachers and their students to kind of do it together, or friends to do it together. But anyone and everyone is invited to be part of it. So it's just something we can go through as a group, because in Ayurveda, seasonal cleansing, that we our bodies and we cleanse it out and we balance our constitution before we go into the next season. And when the seasons change, kind of the seasonal foods change, and how to work with seasonal diets and optimize our health and constitution with that. So a group cleanse in September over the fall equinox. So it'll be 5 days of cleansing the five senses and utilizing the five elements
Mm,
over the fall equinox. So a very auspicious time to cleanse and really, give that time for yourself to reset your digestion, reset your constitution, and into a balanced way as you transition into the fall season. So that's going to be something that everybody can participate in. There'll be an orientation at Sacred Waters where everybody, will have had their consultation with me, where we customize your personal menu, your daily routine activities. And so we have that orientation where you get that customized report. I show you how to cook maybe a couple things on your menu. And then every day there'll be a virtual class and check-in where we talk about an element, whether maybe it's a fire day or a water day or an earth day. We'll have a movement and breath work that corresponds with the element. And then it'll just be a place to connect and go through the cleanse together and make sure everybody's healthy and has that accountability as well as the support.
mm,
So that will be in the fall. Every fall, we'll be doing that. Um, and then October, in the beginning of October, I'll be doing a fall cooking class again at Sacred Waters, and those have been really popular. So it'll be like a Marma yoga, and then we'll go into a cooking class after that.
mm.
Yeah.
Sounds so exciting. Oh, and I love Sacred Waters. It's just so peaceful going back
Mm.
in there. They've got the little lake behind it, and there's, of course, the new labyrinth. I want to say it's a 12 circuit labyrinth that they've
It's a
recently put
really
in,
beautiful place.
over the last
Mhm.
couple of years or so. It's just exquisite. It just feels so peaceful going in.
Mhm.
It's just very lovely. So I love that
Mhm.
you're doing them at Sacred Waters. It's just a wonderful place, and I'm such a wonderful resource for the community as well. There's so many classes
Yeah.
that they have there. They do have so many things that they offer.
I
And
know.
yeah.
I know. All some really amazing offerings and beautiful community of people that I'm
Mm,
so grateful to have found it.
hmm Hmm.
truly.
Indeed.
But
Me
my
too. Me
practice
too.
location is in Mishawaka at the
Hmm.
Lotus Wellness
Yeah.
Center. Ari Chang, she does acupuncture and she's also a medical doctor. So I've recently just partnered with her so that we can offer Ayurvedic services out of that place as well.
Oh, fantastic.
So yeah. So if there's anything online you're interested in booking or, connecting about, I can offer services locally there,
Mm.
um, and potentially also in Plymouth at the Union with
Ah,
Sandy.
perfect. Yeah, I
So
love
I made
Sandy. The
that
union
connection.
is
Yeah,
wellness is so good
it
there. She has
is.
so many great programs. So I'm really glad that
It is.
that's a resource
Yeah.
for you as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. So we talked about a lot of things today. Is there anything that you wanted to dive into or talk about that we haven't mentioned already?
Um, no, I'm really open to connecting with anyone, I really just want to make friends and and be a resource for the community. I don't want anyone to feel like um they can't approach me. I know that Ayurveda it's it's not really part of the mainstream yet. It's a sister science to yoga, right? So I've said that yoga is a household word now. Everybody knows what yoga is,
Uh-huh.
even if you don't resonate with yoga, you still know what it is.
Hmm.
Ayurveda is just starting to catch up. It's the medical side of yoga, right? Yoga is the like spiritual, internal, disciplined, um, way of working with our with calming our mind. And then Ayurveda is like, how do we take care of our bodies so that we can go deep into yoga? So a lot of people, are just like, yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. And so it just kind of, falls off the radar. But like I was saying earlier, Ayurveda is personalized. It's customized. So you could say, oh, I don't really think that's for me. Well, Ayurveda is for you because you're probably already doing a lot of things Ayurvedically and you just don't even realize it because we are human beings that are made of nature. We're
Hmm.
made of the building blocks of nature. So there's inherent knowledge within you that once you really open yourself up to Ayurveda, it starts to really make a lot of sense. And a little, just little changes in your schedule or your diet or your routine goes a long way in you really feeling or seeing some differences in your energy or whatever imbalance symptoms you're having. So it's really simple. And the only thing you need really to start pursuing it is just a heart for it and a heart to actually do the work. Like I can't do it for you.
Uh-huh.
I can give you a lot of resources
Yeah.
and knowledge and I can talk to you and counsel you, but it, it has to land in your own heart, in your own mind, and you have to be inspired to actually do the work and make those changes. And I'll be
Hmm.
here to support you and hold you accountable
Mm. Love it.
throughout
Love
that.
it.
Yes.
Love it. And the way that I see it is simply having a framework to be able to live like a framework to say, these are the things that I need, the protocols that I need to instill in my life. And when I was following those on the food side, I mean, I felt far more balanced and focused. And, I just felt way better than when I've not followed that structure for diet, just simply for that. And being able to simply have a framework, like you said, it's simple. It's a simple blueprint to be able to say, here are your instructions for your daily living. Let's break it down day by day. And just having that recipe for life that's customized for you, it just feels really good when
Yeah.
those pieces come together. And myself being someone who is sometimes I'm just simply looking for the recipe, I'm looking for the thing, and it's all right there. We've got it. It's all right there. It's just simply
Hmm.
finding the tools to be able to instill and implement for ourselves to be able to do this thing to become our best self. And I just love having kind of a recipe for to be able to
Yeah.
move through. And,
Yeah.
and it
It's
usually
empowering.
it is empowering, and it usually doesn't take very long to begin to feel this concrete
No,
differences. I mean,
no,
it usually happens within
immediate.
a week or so, maybe you give or take, like you'll begin to feel little differences along the way when you're mindful of it. Yeah.
The good news too is I'm not sending you to a pharmacist to pay hundreds of dollars for prescription pills. This is really all free. I'm just telling you to buy certain foods. You're already buying food. Maybe I'll have you get some extra herbs to make some teas, or maybe
Hmm.
you get some herbs as supplements or something. But this isn't a system of healthcare that breaks the bank. It actually teaches you how to take care of yourself, and then, just invest in yourself to have a starting point, right? Like you said, like help me get that my personal blueprint so that I can start following it.
uh Like
Yeah,
ginger, simply adding ginger to my diet. Wow, what a game changer. It's just the little things.
simple thing. It
It's the
is
little
just the little
things.
things. It is
Yeah.
just the little things. And when all these little things add up, we could say, all of the little indulgences. Oh, it's just a little thing. But because we're constantly indulging in it, it accumulates into an imbalance,
Uh-huh.
over time. So
Yeah.
it's just understanding the process of that and how to stay in balance.
Hmm.
It's just a game and a science of opposites, a science of balance.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Love that.
so yeah. Um,
Are you ready to shift into some rapid fire questions?
yes,
All
let's hit
right.
me.
Yeah. So, Seva, what do you love the most about providing the services that you offer? Like, what's the part that like just makes you alive? Like, just makes you go, ah, that's so good.
When I see the therapeutic effect on the client
Mm-hmm.
post consultation or treatment,
Mm-hmm.
the the fulfillment when I see the spark of hope in their eyes when I show them how easy it is to actually shift
Mm-hmm.
out of ruts and patterns that aren't serving them, that just that spark of hope, like, wow, this is doable, this is actually working, and this gives me a lot of hope, and it's not heavy, and it's not and it feels right because it's going to resonate with them, it's going to make sense to them you know
Mm-hmm.
and then with the treatments, when they just walk out blissed out from the deep reset, that deep relaxation, when that nervous system gets shifted out of fight or flight and into rest and digest,
Mm-hmm.
where they just have that relief of being able to breathe deeply and just get into a Zen state,
Uh-huh.
and um, that smile, the smile that comes through from that place, from them to me in that moment, is
Uh-huh.
it just
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
just
Thank
rainbows
you.
are all over. Yeah, it's just
That's
like,
awesome. That's awesome.
that I could facilitate that, it's really
Mm-hmm.
special.
Mm-hmm. That is special. Okay, next question. What are the top three words that come to mind to describe how people will feel after they leave your service, having a service with you? Pick whatever service it would be.
Yeah. Well, kind of just what I said.
Uh-huh.
Um, they'll feel encouraged, empowered, grounded,
Mm,
centered,
mm,
at peace,
hmm.
um,
Those are all lovely words. I really
lighter.
like the empowered part.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Especially in
hopeful.
today's
Yeah,
climate.
yeah.
We need to feel more empowerment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hope that there is a way for you. Ayurveda will always light up a way
Mm,
for
mm,
you.
yeah.
There's always, because it's just so much inherently a part of you already.
Yeah.
So that's it, for people, I've tried this and I've tried this and I've tried this. And then they're like, oh, Ayurveda, I don't want to try something else. But what's so different about Ayurveda is that it's already part of who you are. So it's not like, so I'm just helping you become aware of it.
Hmm.
It's not like I
Yeah.
have to teach you something new. I'm just helping you realize what you already know deep down.
Hmm. All right. Our next question is if somebody listens to this podcast and they're like, oh, this sounds really good, but maybe they're just feeling a little shy or a little uncertain or, just need that little nudge. What advice would you offer them?
Yeah. Um, Along the same lines of what I was saying, just, if you're feeling like you've tried so many things and nothing really worked, it's because you keep looking outside of yourself.
Mm,
But the beauty of Ayurveda is that it helps us to realize ourselves and our nature. Actually
beautiful.
says the cause of disease is when we forget our true nature,
Mm,
when we forget that our true nature is spirit and that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. And we keep going outside of ourselves. Our ego keeps having us go outside of ourselves to, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, oh, it's this. And we just go for all the sparkly things. But what's hard for people too in this day and age, because there's so much outer stimulation with media and there's just so many things going on all the time. We're all busier than anyone's ever been on this planet since the beginning of time. Um, we just keep going out, 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 out. And it's just this habit. It's just this pattern.
hmm.
But what Ayurveda is, it reverses that. It has us keep going in and in and in and in because that's where all the answers are for
Yeah.
everything you need.
Hmm.
So it just teaches us
100%.
how to really tune into that.
Love
So
that.
that, yeah, so that our life is more aligned um in every way.
Well, thank you so much, Seva, for your time. For our listeners, I will put in links to Seva's website and social media things. And thank you so much for coming to our humble community, offering the amazing services and classes that you offer. I can't wait to get to know what you offer even more on a more intimate level and just to see how things expand and grow and evolve for you and your practice. So thank you, Seva, for joining today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.